It's interesting though, the proliferation of private equity firms has certainly changed the dynamics between bankers and PE buyers. Where my understanding is bankers were really sharing deals because PE buyers were limited in decades past, and as that number of PE firms has grown, the tables have kind of turned a little bit, and part of the reason why we've seen so much growth in dedicated business development professionals is building those relationships genuinely is important in making sure that you are thought of, your firm is thought of for those opportunities, because there are so many buyers out there that they're not just there's no value for the banker to send this opportunity necessarily to everyone and explain the industry that the company operates in. They want to find a buyer who knows that industry, who's going to be relevant for their clients, and serious about the transaction. And so it takes a BD person, or investment professional, but it takes someone to really cultivate that relationship and express, no, we actually are really knowledgeable in this area, and we have a thesis behind it, and we've done this much research, and we have these operators that we want to partner with, and that takes time and effort. And so it's interesting to kind of see that evolution. But I think that if that is the circumstance that you're in, and you're kind of relying on banker coverage, and you have a BD team in place to do that, that's kind of the way that you can start to think about how we want to track ourselves, and how we want to hold ourselves accountable to those goals.
Yeah, it's an interesting sidebar here, right? Which is the dynamic has shifted and is shifting, right? And it's like 10 years ago, yeah, like bankers needed you, right? Like send all the deals out to everybody they could find to make sure that they got the best buyer. And it was kind of a little bit of, from a banker perspective, a spray and pray, right? Like you send it out to everybody and like, who wants to bid, right? Like here's the deal that's opportunity that's for sale, and I need the best buyer, right? And it's shifted. Like you're seeing that, right? We talked about the fact that like bankers have gone from these broad auction processes to more of these fireside chats, and like they're incentivized almost similar to private equity firms, like end up kind of niching down a little bit and saying like, hey, we're like, I'm the banker that's really good at ed tech, hospitality, whatever, right? Like this is the space. I know this space cold. Because then for them, like they higher conversion on their prospects as well, in terms of like who's going to work with them. And then the pitch that they have to the seller is, well, shit, like I know this space. I know the 10 buyers. I've got direct lines to all of them, and I'm going to make sure and not only do I have direct lines with them, I'm going to be able to, turn their gears and make sure I get you the best price. And like, that's a compelling pitch. And to me, like that, when you think about the future of this, and I spend a lot of time talking to folks about not just the future of private equity, but like the future of investment banking, right? Like, what does the future of investment banking look like? I know hands down, bankers out there are scared shitless about the future of investment banking for the traditional broad auction, put together a sim and a teaser and send it out somewhere, right? Like, where is the banker's future in this highly tech-enabled, automated, AI-driven sort of world where it could even be self-service, where I, as a business owner, can go and just, in one click, create my sim and, have an online portal that'll run my entire process and will send it out and manage all my potential buyers and collect the highest bidder, right? Like the Redfin sort of, real estate approach of like list my own property, like list my own business and let me manage that, right? And there's a portion, for sure, there's a portion of the market that's going to go that way, right? Of like, and a lot of people have tried to create these sort of platforms where, we list your business for you. Like we help you manage it. It's a self-service selling of your business. And you see this with like acquire.com, right? It was formerly MicroAcquire and some of these other platforms where it's like you can go on and like you as a, owner can go list and sell your business. That's starting on the long tail for small businesses, right? Where you say like, hey, I can list my small business. Somebody's going to come online and buy it. The banker's place, if you think about it, like it's got to migrate to an extent where like, where is your home in the future? Where should you live? Like your sweet spot is being that white glove support, that hand holder for the business owner that perhaps is a little bit bigger, a little bit wiser, a little bit more knowledgeable, right? The same thing with like luxury real estate. You're going to work with that quality agent that like knows, how to sell a quality property, right? So with your business, you're going to want to work with that broker, that investment banker that knows this space, knows my business, can find me the best buyers, going to hold my hand, and going to make sure that we walk all the way to the finish line together. Because shit, I'm a busy business owner. I don't have time to go list my stuff, right? Like I need somebody to hold my hand here. So it's going to be interesting, like how this shifts over time. But back to our point, like investment bankers are in more power today than they were, I think, in the past. They don't need you as a buyer because they have buyers, and their job now is become more of like owning the relationships with the potential buyers for anything that they're going to sell, and niching down a little bit to focus on making sure they're the best banker for whatever space it is.
Yeah. Well, so